Hey, how's it going, everybody? So in this video, I just kind of want to talk to you guys about the two daily driver devices I'm pretty much running. Well, it's actually three, but I want to talk about these two, as these two kind of fall in the mid-range bracket category. Well, maybe one of them does. The first one I'm talking about here is the Google Pixel 7a. And I really don't want to say that it's considered a mid-range. It's kind of like in its own bracket all by itself. Well, the A series is supposed to be affordable, and a lot of people always kind of like reference the A in the A series name standing for affordable. Um, yes, it is affordable, but it doesn't mean that the corners are cut where it matters. Pixel 7a pretty much gives you all the same experience as the Pixel 7, with a smaller form factor and a different camera sensor. Rather than going with a Samsung camera sensor, it went with a Sony, I believe. I believe it's Sony. But a 64 megapixel sensor nonetheless. But other than that, Tensor G2 chip, 128 gigs of internal storage, it's got pretty much what the Pixel 7 is. And so, yeah, I really don't want to call it a mid-ranger, even though I guess it gets thrown in there with them. But another A-series device is my Samsung Galaxy A53, and using it side by side with the Pixel 7a. The Galaxy A53 is not the A54. Yes, I am very well aware of that. But there's not really a giant marginal difference between the A53 and the A54, except for a new body design and maybe just a couple of smidge things here and there that are changed up just a little bit. But other than that, it still gives the same performance to a degree. And it does have a few, well, like one sensor more than the A54 does. But other than that, I mean, it's running Android 13. I believe it's One UI 5.1. And I don't think it's getting One UI 6. So that's probably the downside on it. But other than that, design-wise, it's a pretty solid device. Polycarbonate built, so you got the fingerprint magnets on the back that people kind of tend to worry about. I really don't care. Just wipe it down and you're good to go. Both phones perform great. One you could definitely tell is a mid-ranger, and that would be the A53. While its performance is pretty good, from time to time it does have a little bit of jank and jitter. But other than that, I mean, it's still pretty solid. And I don't really mind the jank and jitter from time to time. It's not like every second of the day or every like 5 minutes or so or every hour or so. So in my book, it's still pretty decent. But the fluidity on the Pixel 7a is top-notch solid, on par, and just delivers just like the Pixel 7 does. So both of them got biometric fingerprint sensors in the display. Both of them got face unlock, but not that face unlock that the Pixel 4 XL has. But still, nonetheless, it's there if you want to use it. There is one thing that the Galaxy A53 does better than my Pixel 7a, and it's not really a huge deal, but it has to do with the fact that it's got micro SD card support, and you can actually put apps on the SD card. Now, it doesn't move the entire app; it just moves majority of the data onto your SD card. And yeah, so it does kind of alleviate space if you wanted to, but it's not, it's not like how Link to SD was back in the day with Root, where you would put the entire app on the SD card. But as you can see, it says right there with storage, it's in the external storage. And yes, I do have a micro SD card in the Galaxy A53. And how cool would it be if it had a headphone jack? Actually, to be quite honest, how cool would it be if both of these had a headphone jack? It'd be sweet, but they don't. But the Pixel 7a does not have any way to move anything to internal storage because it does not support micro SD card. So that's probably one leg up that the A53 has over the Pixel 7a. But both perform very well. Both are very good, well optimized. A little bit of jitter with the A53, but nothing that's going to be detrimental or ruin the experience. Just pull my hair out. There are great options out there, and yeah, these are what I am using. With Fi on the Pixel 7a and a certain brand that uses AT&T on the Galaxy A53. So anyways, that's just my quick rundown on my daily driver devices. What are you guys using? Let me know in the comments.